Hello everyone. Today we will see how can we embed an LWC inside an Omniscript and how can we pass data to and from Omniscript, like to the LWC and from LWC back to Omniscript. So for showing this, I have used a use case. So I'll explain the use case first and we'll then dive into how can we implement that. So my requirement is like this, that my Omniscript should be present inside the contact record page, the lightning record page, and it should receive the contact ID. Using that ID, I can fetch the contact information and pass that information to LWC. Now, LWC will make the use of that information, show that information on the screen, and it will show some drop downs using which I can select that information for that user, selected user, the contact. Now, the selected information should pass back to LWC as well. So LWC must receive the customer details and allows the user to select the plans and add-ons which I have showed on the LWC and send the selected values back to Omniscript. So the next step can show a summary that what are the values which user selected from the LWC in the previous step. Okay, so let's see how can we do this? How can we build this functionality? So for that, I'll just go to the Omniscript and build a new Omniscript, which I will name okay. So here is my LWS Omniscript, and here I will pass the contact ID first from the contact record page, and use that contact ID to fetch the information of that contact. So I will drag and drop a data adapter extract action here, and I already I will name this as fetch contact info. Now I already have a data adapter which will fetch the information of that contact, the name of the contact based on the ID. So this is a simple data adapter which takes in the context ID variable and it gives the name in the output. So I will just need the name. Now here in the data source, I will pass context ID, and in the filter value, I will pass the variable which I have used inside the data adapter. Now inside the step 1, I will add a custom LWC. For that, I'll go to the inputs, and inside that input we'll get this custom LWC. We'll drag and drop that custom LWC here. So I already have a custom LWC built. I'll show how that should be structured. But before that, let's just put the name here. My name of that LWC is PlanSelector. And in the custom LWC, I also want to pass the name of that contact. Okay, so let's go to the LWC first to see how it is structured. So this is my simple LWC, which is importing this interface from the OmniStudio Omniscript base mixin. So this is required because I want to retrieve the data JSON from the Omniscript and update the data JSON back to the Omniscript. So that's why we need to import this base mixin. And once I've imported it, I can use that later on to perform any update operations in the Omniscript JSON. So we'll see how that will be done. Now, if I want to pass any information from the Omniscript to LWC, I need that variable to be defined as @API. Okay, so I will pass the customer name inside this customer info API variable. Okay, so how will I pass that? I'll write here, not this, but it has to be in this format, customer hyphen I small. So wherever you have a capital letter, you'll have to make it small and put a hyphen before it. Okay, that's how you should pass the customer info variable of LWC here. Now the source will be the name of that contact, right? So it will be, I think, just the name, or yeah. Let me see what that variable is called, name. Okay. Now, what this LWC does is, in the HTML, if you can see, I have two select input select boxes, right? One is combo box and one is dual list box. Dual list box will allow you to choose more than one items, like unselected items will be on the left and selected items will be on the right. So I will make the user to select a mobile plan. Okay, I'll give the options, whatever options user has, and I will add give an option to add the add-ons. Now once the user has selected all these two inputs, user can do a submit selection. So this is a button which will call this function which will construct a payload, and inside payload it will construct this customer object, and inside that customer object I will assign the plan and the add-ons as the values of the selected plan and the selected add-ons. So as you can see here, whenever I was doing a change in the combo box, right, on change I was calling this handle plan change. Handle plan change will update the selected plan variable, which I will later on pass it in the plan variable, and the add-on will be calling this on change handler method, which will update my selected add-ons array. So it can be a multi-select list, right? So this will be an array which will have the add-ons selected. Now once these are selected and user clicks on submit the options, this will send the data to Omniscript. So this is how the payload is constructed to send to the Omniscript. And for sending the data back to Omniscript, we will use the Omni apply call resp. This is a method which comes in from the Omniscript base mixin. Okay, as we have extended this Omniscript base mixin here, we can use this method, inbuilt method. Now using this method, we will pass this payload so that my Omniscript will get this in its JSON, like customer plan and customer add-ons. Now this next step, right? So once the user clicks on the submit button, right, I want the user to navigate to the next step of the Omniscript. So that's why this dot omni next step. So using this, I can fire the next button of that Omniscript. Now one more essential thing here is in the meta XML. In the meta XML, I have to, as along with the is exposed to and the targets, I have to include the runtime namespace. So my runtime namespace of the package, Omniscript package, is Omni Studio. So I have included this runtime namespace as Omni Studio in this meta XML. Without this, your the functionality might not work. So this is an important thing. Now let's go back here. Now I have passed this variable name, right? So where this is used, right? Let's see. So contact name will be displayed on the LWC here. It will welcome the customer, that welcome whatever your name is, and it will show you the options to select and submit the selection, and submitting will give the Omniscript back their options. Now I want to show that the confirmation of that options in the next step, right? So let's name this step as, and I will also add another step which will show that this is the option you have selected. So let's add one more step here, and we will name this confirmation. Inside this confirmation, I'll add a text block, and here I will show whatever the options user has selected in the LWC, and that has been passed here, right? So you have selected plan, and the variable name is customer plan, okay, and along with add-ons, customer add-ons. Okay, so this should be passed to the Omniscript and should be shown here. Yeah. So I think that's done, and we should be able to see this. I'm just verifying that if I have not made any syntax errors here. I'll activate this version now. Okay. Now I will add this Omniscript inside my contact record page. Okay. So this is my contact record page, lightning record page. I will edit this page. I will drag and drop the custom LWC. Here. Okay. And click on save. Go back. Okay. So if you see here, these all the UI, nothing is there in the Omniscript, right? So welcome the contact name. So this is the contact name which is getting passed. So by default, when you add an Omniscript inside the record page, the record ID is passed in the context ID variable. Using that context ID variable, we have fetched from the data raptor their name, right? And we have passed that name into the custom LWC, right? In the customer info. Now the name is being shown here. Now I can select a mobile plan, either basic, premium, or unlimited. Let's select basic, and I can select add-ons, one or many. Let's add all three here. So after doing this, what user can do is submit selection. So what should happen after submit selection is user should be taken to the next step of the Omniscript, and user should be able to see the mobile plan he has selected along with the add-ons as a confirmation. So let's see. So see that the confirmation screen is here, and it's showing that you have selected a plan basic along with the add-ons IR, NET, RDP. So why is this IR, NET, RDP? Because the values which I have given here is not the full form. It's the label, which is international roaming, which is IR, and value. Whatever you're getting here is the value of that option. That's why. And it's coming inside an array because this is an array. This is coming as a text because it is in a text format. So this is how you can embed a custom LWC inside an Omniscript and pass the data to and fro. Hope you like the video. Thanks for watching.